Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Opposite Sex Podcast. This is your host, Drew and Tanaya, and sorry we're getting this one out probably about a day late, actually, maybe 2 days late, but been kind of a hectic week at work, and yeah, but we're excited to finally sit down in the studio and get another podcast out to you guys, so so this has been a pretty cold-ass week. I think everywhere around the country.
Yep.
Definitely has been up here in Nebraska. I know Texas has been having all sorts of issues down there. Pretty major stuff down there, but they're not used to the cold like we are up here. So we've had some minus 40 wind chills, I know. I'm not sure if it's gotten into the minus 50s, but it's been pretty damn cold.
Got about 9 inches of snow.
Yeah, so that's been fun.
It's finally warming up, though, the last couple of days. Yeah. Yesterday was like 40 or 50.
Was it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So it's getting better.
Yeah.
So hopefully winter is not going to last too much longer because I'm ready to get to the lake.
Right.
I guess. So
do some more videos on our other YouTube channel.
Yeah, on Drew and Crew. That's Drew _N_ Crew. Go and subscribe, guys. That would be awesome. We are going to start getting more of those videos out, so pretty excited to get going on that. And if you guys haven't subscribed to this podcast channel on YouTube, go and check that one out. That would be awesome. Yeah. So, anyway, but so how's your week been there, babe?
It's been pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Been working?
Working. I had the last 2 days off, finally going back today.
You got a fun new item today.
Yes, for my birthday.
A little early.
Right.
Your birthday's not for a while yet.
Excited.
Like over a month.
Right.
Over a month early.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what it all brings. I got the Cricut Maker.
What the hell? What is that? Because I didn't know what it was until about 2 weeks ago.
Some people use it for like scrapbooking. Other people use it to make t-shirts and wall stickers and stuff like that. And I think what caught my eyes is the wall stickers and the t-shirts.
So you're planning on, we're going all in on all kinds of new fucking adventures here.
Yep.
You're planning on starting like a business with this.
Eventually, once I get the hang of it. Yeah.
So maybe we can have some opposite sex t-shirts and
mugs.
And
stickers.
Frisbees.
Frisbees?
I don't know. People use Frisbees, don't they? They put shit on Yeah, let's have fucking Frisbees.
Okay.
I want opposite sex Frisbees.
Okay. For Frisbee golf or what?
Sure. Yeah, we'll make those too. I don't know. Okay.
But yeah, so that was pretty exciting. It's going to take some time getting used to the software and stuff, but we've messed around with it a little bit today.
It is pretty cool. It's been around for a long time.
Right.
Like, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Like I said, when I was like 10 maybe, my aunt had one because she makes scrapbooks. So she cuts out like little animals, like when you go to the zoo and stuff. She has the cartridge one though, to where you put the cartridge in it.
Oh,
and this one that we got, this one that we got is just the software. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you can put those cartridges on it, right? Like, I think I mean, there's no place to put the cartridge, but it sounded like you can call the support people and they would like transfer them over or something.
But if you're subscribed to the thing, the monthly thing, you don't need it.
No.
Because it's all free then.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm sort of excited to see how this goes.
Me too. How was your week, my love?
Oh, my week was pretty rough. I'm not going to lie. It was a rough week at work. A lot of long days. So, but the nicer the weather gets, like the better that is going. So anyway, I'll be back to work today, so hopefully it'll be another quick one. But I don't know.
Let's hope.
This is my funnest part of the week, is sitting down doing this stuff. So even though I know I bitch and moan about doing some of the editing and different shit like that for the YouTube stuff and the TikTok stuff and the Instagram stuff and the Twitter stuff.
I'm just not good with technology.
You better be. You got a new Cricut machine. So we better.
I'm going to need you for that too, babe.
God damn. I don't know. Kidding. We're going to get you getting this this computer editing stuff figured out. Eventually you'll get it
Don't
down.
stress me out too much.
Right. Okay. Well, anyways, guess we can get kind of going with the show here. I was trying to think of what we could do for today's podcast.
Today's podcast is the 11th podcast that we have out.
Oh my God, it is, isn't it?
It is.
Number 11.
Yes.
Wow. That's like a lucky number, isn't it? Like 11? Like 11:11?
Yeah.
Like at the time?
Yeah,
of the
because,
day?
that's like Make-A-Wish time.
Okay. That was sort of
I just had to put that out there because you haven't.
Make-A-Wish time?
When the clock hits 11:11, you're supposed to make a wish.
Okay, we'll make a wish on this podcast because it's number 11.
Okay.
So thank you for pointing that out.
Yes.
Though. Yeah. So I realized that it's still February. And February is the month of love. So we haven't done anything really for Valentine's Day as far as the podcast goes.
Nope.
So I thought we would kind of point this podcast in the direction of love. So then I was thinking about like movies. I was thinking about this whole COVID crap and how we haven't been able to go to any movies. There's been no like date nights to be able to go to movies, and I'm a movie buff, and that sucks.
Right.
So just thinking about that got me thinking about romance movies. And I'm a guy that actually enjoys romance movies. I like romantic comedies and stuff like that. I don't know. So I thought today would be a fun day to talk about our different top 5 romantic romance movies, I guess. So, and we have that little age difference between us, so I have no doubt. I don't know what your 5 movies are, and you don't know what my 5 movies are, but I have no doubt that they are going to be very, very different.
Probably.
We probably have very different tastes in this.
Probably.
So
I know one of them you've been really annoyed when I've wanted to watch it.
What? Is this one of your top 5 or one of your top 5? Okay. Well, I'll know soon enough. It's not The Notebook, is it?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. God, I hate that fucking movie. I do. I don't like it. It's like one of my bottom.
I love it.
It's one of my bottom 5.
No.
Like all time.
No.
Like there's Freddie Got Fingered and then The Notebook. And I don't know if you've seen Freddie Got Fingered, but a scene in that movie, like there's like an elephant that comes all over some guy's face. So that's the kind of movie that we are like. I'm putting that one's a little bit worse than The Notebook, but then The Notebook's like right after.
I love The Notebook.
Is it an elephant? Fuck, I don't remember. It's really weird. It's gross. Anyway,
okay, well,
not important.
Whatever.
I think it was a baby elephant. That's not important. We're getting off track here, I think.
It's okay.
Okay. So, do you want to go first? Are we going to go like 5 up to 1?
Okay, let's do that.
Do you want to go through your entire list first?
Sure.
We're going to go back and forth. Let's go back and forth.
Back and
Give
forth?
me your number 5.
Okay.
Are these actually in order? Would you rank these actually as in order? Or are you just kind of tossing them out there?
Just tossing them out there.
Oh, mine are in order.
Okay.
So, anyway.
Well, mine aren't.
Okay,
so
here we go.
My 5th one is A Star Is Born.
Star is Born. Okay. Tell me about A Star. I know what
Babe,
this is. I do know what this movie is. I agree with you. This is a very good one. It's sad. Good one. It's sad as fuck. Which I know is going to be a theme with you because you enjoy sad
I
fucking
love
movies.
sad movies.
Okay.
I like to cry.
Well, tell our listeners about The Star is Born.
No.
We'll address your need for sadness in your movies. You want me to? You know what? Because I like this movie too. I'll talk about it. A little bit.
You know me in the end. Like the end hits me.
I don't understand the end. Okay,
it's sad.
So A Star is Born has to do with a famous country singer, I believe. Yeah, with country singer, but he's kind of down on his luck. He's an alcoholic, and he's starting to fade out a little bit. And then there's this up-and-coming woman, Lady Gaga, who I think he finds and kind of helps her on her way up. And anyway, of course, they end up falling in love during the whole time. I really don't know the actual specifics of it, but I think that's kind of the gist, right?
Right.
But do they get married? I think they get married.
Yeah, I think they get married at the end.
And but he's fallen deeper and deeper into his whole alcoholism.
Okay. Should I read the caption?
Shit, go for it.
Okay. Seasoned musician Jack Maine discovers and falls in love with struggling artist Allie. She has just about given up on her dream to make it big as a singer until Jackson coaxes her into the spotlight. And even as Allie's career takes off, the personal side of their relationship is breaking down as Jackson fights on an ongoing battle with his own inner demons.
Okay. Now, your favorite part of the movie, for some fucking reason, is when he hangs himself inside the garage, I think.
No.
I'm not sure how this is part of a romantic
I don't know.
thing, but you just, boy, that...
Babe, I cried through that whole movie.
You did.
I did. The whole movie.
And there's that song. That song is a pretty song.
Yes.
What is that called? In the Shallow or Shallow? I think it's just called Shallow. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Who's the guy's name? What's the lead actor's name?
Bradley Cooper.
Cooper, yeah.
And Sam Elliott.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's in there because he's his older brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, that's a solid one.
Okay.
Like, I'll go with that.
Okay.
I like that. I like that in the top 5. See, my part is up until he actually kills himself. Like, I want there to be...
I don't... See, and it's making our people think like, oh my gosh.
Oh, you're morbid. Yeah, you're morbid
No,
as shit. Yes.
babe.
I want happy... Like, they kiss at the end, they're together, like, they go through some troubles, but life is good at the end. You want... They go through some troubles, and then one of them just kills themselves.
No, that's not all true, because the last movie we watched that was romantic, she got pregnant, and I was really pissed off because I didn't see her have the baby.
That's
and
true.
they were happily ever
Cocktail.
after. Yes.
But
that is not in my top 5.
That's not in my top 5 either. I tried working a Tom Cruise movie in there. Really tried. Cocktail and Top Gun. I really, really worked on those. But in the end, like, they're not hit the feeler kind of movies.
Right. Okay. Your turn, babe.
Okay. My number 5, and I'm going to guess that you have not seen this, is Ghost. Have you seen Ghost?
Maybe, probably not.
Okay. Ghost was made in 1990. It's very, very well known for kind of a hot and heavy sex scene. I think, yeah, it would be a sex scene. Oddly enough, it's with, God, was he a ghost by this point in time? I can't remember, but she crafts clay pots, and so she's doing some clay pot crafting, and old shirtless Patrick Swayze comes up behind her. And anyway, hot and heavy stuff occurs, but that's a very popular movie scene. So I'll give you a little background on this. So Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore are the two main actors. Whoopi Goldberg is also in this. I don't know if any of those are ringing a bell for you. If you were my age, those are big. Those are
okay.
3 big name ones.
Okay.
So Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore are a couple. I'm not sure. I don't think they're married, but they've been together for a while and they're living together. And young love, like majorly in love. And there's kind of a bad scheme plot here too. Anyway, one of Swayze's friends ends up killing him. And so Demi Moore is very heartbroken over this. A lot of crying and everything. But he sticks around as a ghost. And he figures out a way to make his presence known to her. And then they bring in Whoopi Goldberg. And she's like a psychic woman. And she's able to talk to him and put those two kind of in connection to each other. And I think by the end of the movie, she's able to actually see him before he takes off to heaven or
How
wherever.
cool.
So anyway, that's kind of a tearjerker one. And I guess, yeah, you might actually really like that because it doesn't really have a happy ending as in like they end up together because he stays dead. But I guess he does go to heaven. After they get to have their moment together. But anyway.
I'll have to watch it. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Save the Last Dance.
I knew it. I knew one of these dancing movies was going to make it in there.
I loved it.
Okay.
Tell about it? Or
Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the original ones. Like, that's like one of the original dance.
Yeah.
Lovey.
So,
movies.
really, it's just about a girl that, a white girl goes into a town where it's opposite color than her. Takes her a while to really get into a group or anything, and she's really into ballet. Her mom passes away. And so, really, she's just trying to stay into this school, live with her dad. She meets up with this lady, and they go to a club, and she starts throwing out her dance moves. Well, then she gets with who is it?
She hooks up with the instructor.
No.
What happens? Oh.
No. She gets with her friend's brother, and she teaches them how to dance ballet, and he teaches her how to dance his ways. And then she like takes that into a performance, and they fall in love, and I don't know.
What's her name? Julie? Somebody.
Julia.
Julie Stiles.
Yeah.
Stiles. Julia Stiles.
And Sean Patrick Thomas.
Okay, that's the main guy. Probably.
Yeah. And then Kerry Washington.
Julia Stiles, she was, for a while, she was like going to be the next big name actress when that show was coming out. I remember that. I'm not sure if I've seen the whole thing.
Really? I loved it.
But that's just not that. There now we're getting into where that one wouldn't be.
And then her dad almost passes away.
Of course.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
Nope.
Nobody actually dies on this one.
Her mom.
Her mom dies. Okay.
Well, that's like why she moved with her dad.
before.
Yeah.
Okay. Do they end up together? Do the romantic couple?
Yep.
Do they do end up together at the very end?
Yes.
Okay. Well, my number 4, and I know. Oh my God, we have watched this together. Okay, we've watched this movie together.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that you are going to remember this.
Okay.
Another 1990 movie. So I got two 1990 movies right now.
Okay.
Okay, so it's Pretty Woman. Now,
I do remember that.
All right. So I went back and forth on Pretty Woman because I really had to, I really didn't want to include it for some reason. I don't know if it's because she was a hooker or what.
Right.
But for some reason I didn't want to, but I kept going back to it. So I really thought on this last night. I kept going back to it, and I do. I love the actual movie. So I don't know. It's one I kind of had to grow into because like when I watched it, I was a kid. I was a young kid. And Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman.
Yeah, sing it, baby.
No.
For a young kid, Pretty Woman is basically porn. Like that was like my introduction to like softcore porn right there was Pretty Woman because oh my God, she's got that sexy her hooker outfit and those boots that she zips all the way up her thigh, and then there's a whole scene where they're laying in the hotel and they're watching I Love Lucy reruns, and she crawls over to him in her sexy lingerie, and I don't know. Anyway,
seems to me your romantic movies so far are very sexual.
Well, I mean, a little bit. So anyway, I guess let me give. I'm assuming most people have seen. Have seen this, but I guess we'll give it a little background. So, rich guy. First, it stars Richard Gere and Julia Roberts are kind of the main people. Rich guy, Richard Gere. He ends up picking up this hooker and takes her to the hotel. And, really, he just wants some company.
Right.
Like, he's not like a gross guy. So he really just wants some company to talk to. Ends up paying her for like an entire week to stay with him and kind of be like his girlfriend, to go to business parties and business things like that. And,
gives her money to go get outfits and stuff like that.
Yep. And anyway, I mean, of course, they're falling in love this entire time, but he lets her go anyway. When it's the end of the week, she goes, but he has to have her back. So he gets in his limo and finds her
Yep.
and climbs up the ladder, even though he's scared of heights, and brings flowers to her, and it's a happy ending. I don't even think anybody dies.
Nobody dies.
There might have been a crackhead on the streets somewhere. that
Probably
but
a couple.
no main person in the movie dies. I
Right.
don't think. Very happy movie.
Yes, I did like that. I
With
do
a lot of-
remember it.
Good.
I do.
Good.
What is going on with this?
Troubles?
I am. Okay. We're
Ready
good.
for your number 3?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. My number 3 is the Titanic.
Okay.
It took me a really, really long time to be able to finish that movie.
Well, it is a 3.
Yes.
3.5.
So, I mean, I remember most of it, but there's bits and pieces that I do not.
Okay. I mean, I'm with you.
I don't know. I just
Why do you? Okay. Why does this hit your number 3 though? I'm kind of with you. I kind of wanted to include it, but I don't. It's been so long since I've watched it, and it was such a long movie.
it's very like so before the ship sunk or whatever. I remember when the guy snuck onto the ship and stuff, and he had seen. I don't even remember her name.
Yeah. Who are they? Leonardo DiCaprio.
Huh?
Leonardo DiCaprio is the main guy. You don't know? Oh, God. He's a very famous actor. Baby.
What is her name?
I don't know. It's not Keira Knightley, is it? I don't think that's right. That's the woman in shit.
Kate?
Oh, Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyways, like when he found her and then like her parents did not approve of him because of how he looked and stuff. And
Right.
so they were sneaking around everywhere, and like her parents would find out, chase him down. It was very actiony. And then once like the ship started to sink, he saved her, it just.
Now, am I remembering this right? Because she kind of is telling the story as an old woman.
Yes.
Right? And she's telling the story.
Yes.
Now, he's dead
Yes.
because he drowned.
Yes.
Because her fucking rich ass wouldn't roll off and give him room to lay next.
Right.
She just needed the whole damn king-size bed, a piece of wood
Yep.
to lay on while he froze his happy ass in the water. That's what that's what I always had an issue with. She basically just...
Isn't it like, okay, isn't it an old, like you said, isn't it an older lady telling the story?
But she is her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, because they found something in the water. They found her necklace.
Okay, right. That makes
And
sense.
so it
Yep.
took her back, and so she was telling the story of what had happened and the story behind the necklace and stuff. And
Now, she was engaged, wasn't she? Was she married or engaged to a different guy?
She was, I think, I might be wrong. I think she was engaged.
She's a little bit of a hoochie.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then like I don't know. The sneaking around, them falling in love, like, I don't know. And then when he drew her.
We got to talk about that.
Yes.
Because there's another very famous, like.
He drew, like, she laid there with her necklace on.
It's tastefully done.
And then remember, like, in the movie, he.
Are we going to skip right past the whole naked drawing thing? Like,
I was just talking about that.
We can talk about that for, like, the next 10 minutes.
No.
Come on.
Babe.
Completely naked.
Yes.
Drawn away.
Yes.
I mean, I remember that as a younger kid.
And then, whatever happened, they snuck the necklace into his pocket, remember?
Okay.
And they tried to frame him.
Okay. No. Yes, I do. I do kind of remember that. Yeah. Now and then they're whole on the end of the ship. They're
holding each
King
other
of the
and they're
World or whatever.
Yes.
There's some iconic scenes in that movie.
It was just cute.
And it was kind of cool that they tied it into the Titanic, which was an actual event.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Just making sure. I was curious.
Well, is it a real event?
I'm making sure that
Is it a real event?
Maybe you didn't know what Pearl Harbor was, sweetie.
Come on. Yes, Yes, I do.
Okay, but we are in agreement that
No.
Titanic
No.
actually was a ship and sunk.
Was it?
You're the one telling me there's a Titanic 2.
Hey, it popped up on here.
How the fuck do you have a Titanic 2 when the ship is sunk to the ground? Like, what? Have you looked up what Titanic 2? I kind of want to watch that. Like, is it a...
I don't know.
Like, how do they manage that? I'm
I
curious.
don't know. Let's look.
You're going to look up Titanic 2.
Yes.
Okay.
See, it's right here. It's a 2010 film.
I mean, is that what it's called? Titanic 2.
Titanic 2.
The Return of Jack. Oh, baby, that's... Sweetie, I think that's a...
Whole different movie.
No, I think that's somebody on YouTube made up some bullshit, took some scenes from different movies. Maybe not. Click on that fucking thing.
Why? Hold on.
How do you have the
Video?
Return of Jack?
See?
Okay,
See?
yeah,
Storyline. Boom. It's a movie.
Okay, everybody. Titanic 2, The Return of Jack.
Is a movie.
Okay, I don't know. I'm intrigued by that, but totally never going to watch that.
No.
It's going to be awful.
Yeah. And it'll kind of like ruin the first one.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead with yours.
Okay, well, we've already kind of talked about this situation. Pearl Harbor is my number 3. So, Pearl Harbor, I've told you, is one of the, 2 movies that have ever made me a little teary-eyed. So, yeah, so I think that, that's important for a romance movie. Like, if it can,
If I could remember.
hit your heart a little bit, and this one does. So, yeah, we've joked around about this Pearl Harbor thing a few times because we've had to explain to you what Pearl Harbor actually was. We've watched the movie together. It's a little infuriating. Obviously, it centers around the whole Pearl Harbor, what happened out there, the attacks and everything. But then they build this love story into it.
Yeah.
So Ben Affleck is the main guy. Josh Hartnett, I think, is the other guy. And now I got to figure out her name because I have got a huge crush on this woman. She is.
How can you have a huge crush on her when you don't even know her name?
Oh, Kate Beckinsale. Gorgeous, gorgeous woman. Anyway, she's the love interest of this whole show. And Ben Affleck and her fall in love at first. And it's like it's the meant to be kind of love. Super romantic. And then, but he's kind of a hero guy. So he wants to go to war. And so he takes off early, before America's even in the war. And he goes over and he gets in a plane wreck and can't get word out that he's alive. So she thinks that he dies. And his best friend, who is Josh Hartnett, I hope I'm saying that name right. I think I am. I'm going to look anyway. Yeah, Josh Hartnett. That's Ben Affleck's best friend. And everybody thinks he's dead. So, of course. Then the best friend and the girlfriend, then they hook up. And they start having...
She gets pregnant.
I
do remember.
Oh, my
Keep
goodness.
saying it. Keep telling.
But it's infuriating. I can see this both ways. In watching the movie where we know that he's still alive, it's infuriating.
I remember you were like...
It is.
Yes.
It's very, they get, when he finally comes back to Hawaii and they can, after they thought he was dead and after they've fallen in love, he is not very happy about this new change of events. And they end up getting in a big old fight and everything. And he, the best friend deserves it.
Yes.
I mean, knowing what we know, knowing that he's been alive the whole time.
Right.
Now, if you put yourself in the character's shoes, I guess, it's understandable. You truly think this guy's dead.
Mm-hmm.
It is understandable. So I can understand both sides of this. But in fairness, at the end of the movie, okay, here's one where I'm kind of glad the guy dies because in the end, and God, I hope this is not based on an actual person because I know this whole movie is based on the real life thing, but Josh Hartnett's character dies at the end of it, and so the original couple end up getting back together and raising Josh Hartnett's kid. But I'm not going to lie, like, I was sort of glad to see his character die and the actual couple get back together. Like, I was sort of glad to see that. Even though now I feel bad because the kid's dad died.
Right.
I feel like a bad person now.
Oh, you're okay.
Anyway, I like that movie. Are we up to number 2? That was my number 3, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, my number 2.
Fuck, I'm so nervous about this.
Is Dear John.
Okay, back to Nicholas. Oh, shit. That means I know what number 1 is. Okay.
I don't know. Dear John was about a guy that had went into the army, gotten deployed, and had met, I don't know her name. See, I'm so horrible at actors and actresses. Okay. Give me just 1 second.
I stole your coffee, by the way.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
I think Dear John was I've never seen it, but I think it was a Nicholas Sparks book.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Who's pretty known for writing romance novels. I think he wrote The Notebook, too.
He did.
Okay.
It has Channing Tatum and Amanda Seyfried?
Who? I don't know that one.
Seyfried? I don't know.
Where am I looking here?
Stars.
Amanda Seyfried? Fuck, I don't know. Seyfried?
Okay.
Channing Tatum's enough. I don't like Channing Tatum. I'm not a big Channing Tatum fan.
Oh. Okay.
What are you doing over there?
So anyways, he goes home and meets this girl, and he's only home for so long, and he hides it from her that he is in the service, and they fall in love, and she ends up having, or no. Rewind.
Okay, all right.
I'm all over the place, babe. Okay. So he gets back from the service.
Okay. Channing Tatum.
Yep.
Channing. All right.
And I don't remember what he was doing. Oh, he was at the beach. And Amanda's purse had fallen off like a bridge, the dock.
Okay.
And so like her boyfriend's just standing there looking at the purse in the water, not doing anything. So Channing Tatum like jumps into it, and he hands it to her, and they end up just like hanging out. She asks him to go to a bonfire. They fall in love.
So she was with some other guy.
Yes. And then
So I've noticed this is a theme of yours as well. You also like Titanic. You prefer when they're with another guy.
Babe.
It's kind of a hoochie, and she ends up going with a new guy. Okay, that's fair.
But anyways, so then they like end up getting together, and she meets his dad, and his dad has like some problems wrong with him, and so like they hang out. His dad has a stroke, and they go through, and they're I don't know.
Just give me the overall gist.
I don't know. They fall in love, and he ends up getting deployed, and she ends up getting with somebody else.
Again?
Yep. He gets home.
That's fucking
and he
hoochie.
gets home, and then he finds out, and they end up getting she ends up getting married to this disabled guy, and they end up getting back together at the end.
So this fucking bitch. So she was with one guy. Then she sees sexy Channing Tatum, gets with him.
He gets deployed.
Then he leaves for a little bit.
She stops riding him when he's deployed.
She needs to get some more dick. So then she gets with a different guy.
That's paralyzed.
So that didn't work out very well, because once Channing Tatum came back and took his shirt off, she was like, oh, fuck this paralyzed guy. Like, give me Channing back. And that's good romance. That's a good romance, yeah. Tearing at my heart here already.
Babe!
All right. So they live happily ever after, though? Finally?
Yes.
After she stops cheating on everybody?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. All right, my number 2.
I'm sucking at the storytelling.
Why? No, I think that's great.
I am. No, I am.
So, Dear John. # Hoochie woman.
Okay, what's your second one?
Anyway, all right. So this one I don't think you've seen. I think you would love this movie. Another early 90s, made in 1992. Stars Mel Gibson. I don't know who else is in it. Not even going to try. But Mel Gibson, back when he was like very popular Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's not very popular anymore. But it's called Forever Young. So, all right. You're going to love this one. I'm telling you. Okay, so it takes place like back in the 30s, I think. Something like that. And so Mel Gibson is dating this woman, like the love of his life. She has an automobile accident and is in a coma. So he has a buddy, I think. Maybe he's working, Mel Gibson might be working in this too, but he's got a buddy that is working, does some major science stuff, I think, for like the U.S. government or something. And they're trying to figure out how to freeze like people, like freeze things to extend their life out. So they think they have gotten this figured out. So he goes to his buddy and tells him that he doesn't want to be alive. He doesn't want to be around until his woman wakes up. So they freeze him. So they freeze him. She's in the coma. And then they forget about him. And I think it's something like 60 years, 50 years goes by.
Oh my
and
gosh.
They finally find this big, huge cryogenic tank in a warehouse or something with him still frozen in it. Now, meanwhile, she has woken up. She woke up like...
Years ago.
Oh, like a month later or something. She woke up, but the friend died or something. So they lost track of him, his frozen ass. So she wakes up and has lived her entire life. Well, they find him, and I think some kids like find him and accidentally somehow unlock the thing and unfreeze him. And he's still young. Like, he's still young, but age is catching up with him rapidly. Like, so he's aging rapidly. And so his whole thing is to find her before he dies. So he's quickly going from 20 to 80, like extremely fast. And so he's trying to find this woman. And finally, at the end, he finds her living, I think, at a lighthouse. So like very picturesque. You know, he's a pilot, so he flies this plane to the lighthouse right on the edge of a cliff where there's, you know, the ocean and everything. And and by now he's 80 years old. He looks 80
Was she
years
married?
old. I think she had gotten married and had like kids and grandkids and stuff, but I don't think she was married anymore. I think he had died. But of course she sees him and instantly recognizes him. And very
We'll have to watch that one.
tear-jerking experience.
We'll have to watch that one.
Okay. Anyway, so that is Forever Young, my number 2. All right, I'm ready for your number 1, baby. Let's hear it.
The Notebook.
Tell me all about it.
You already know about it. And most people know about it.
Most people. But give us the overall
It's
synopsis.
like a very wealthy girl meets this guy that, you know, works. He's not very wealthy.
Okay.
And they fall in love. Well, her parents find out and do not approve of it. And so they take her and they make her go away. Right?
I don't
Yes.
remember. I'm not even
They
sure
make
why
her
I
go-
don't like the movie.
They make her go away. And so, like, he searches around for her. She's gone. He writes her letters all the time. And in this time being for, like, a year straight or something. And in this time being, her mom is going and taking all these letters that he is sending her so she does not find out and so she can get her mind off of him. Well, when they were together before her parents made her leave, she told him they went and snuck off to this house, abandoned house, out like just piece of shit house.
Right.
And, you know, they did their thing. And she told him, she was walking through it and she told him like exactly what she would do with this house. Like it would be a big white with a big balcony, you know, all this. So he gives up on trying to write her and he builds this house.
Okay.
That same house, builds it how she wants it, and goes goes to the town where she is after he builds it and after it's in the paper and everything. Well, in this time being, she ends up she was a nurse in the military, and she had met this guy that broke his arm or something like that, and he wanted to take her on a date. And she goes, if you see me out. And so when he gets out of the service, he goes and finds her. Mm-hmm. They end up getting engaged, and the main character goes and like ends up finding her and seeing that she's engaged, and she sneaks off to back to the house, the White House that he had built for her, and cheats on her husband.
Oh my God.
And then they get back together.
Here we go. All right. So
Babe, she has an affair.
More cheating. Okay.
But it's not all like her fault, you know what I mean? Like her mom physically made her leave the state, you know, and she was in love with this guy, and
okay.
So
in fairness, I really feel like I have unfairly judged this movie. I watched it one time. I'm not 100% sure why I didn't like it, but I really didn't like it for whatever reason. But I feel like maybe I should give that another chance.
You should. And like they go out to this ocean or the water, and she like starts to flap her wings. The big saying in the movie is, "If you're a bird, I'm a bird." Because she flaps her wings and she just flies, and he catches her and she goes, "If you're a bird, I'm a bird."
Okay. Aren't they like on their deathbed or something at the end of the movie?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, isn't that the big part?
He's telling his story. So she gets like Alzheimer's or something like that. Like she does not remember. So she's in the nursing home, and he brings her this book, and she does not remember who he is. Mm-hmm. So then he reads like chapter after chapter to her. And then she starts to remember, like later on into the book, she starts to remember that that's them. You know, the story is about them. And they end up dying, laying in the same bed together.
Okay. So not a happy ending, really. I mean, they die.
They get back together, though.
They're together.
And then, like, she remembers who he is. And then they go home at peace with each other.
Okay. No, I will. I'll give that another chance. I feel bad that I put that movie on the level of Freddy Got Fingered. That is a horrible, horrible fucking movie. Stupid movie. Anyway, it's not even worth talking about anymore. But I feel bad. Sounds like a decently solid movie. Probably,
it's a good movie.
Probably very touching. Another Nicholas Sparks. Nicholas Sparks has got that shit down, like how to make women melt.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even know what he looks like. But he has like women like flocking after him. But he could like write like a crazy poem or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So my number one, which maybe you know, I think we've watched it together. I'm sure we have. So it's finally like a romantic comedy. Like I feel like we have not done a romantic comedy at all. And that's really what I like. And that ends up being, this is my favorite romance movie of all time. It's called Serendipity. Have we never watched Serendipity? Oh, we have to. Again, I'm going to say that you'll like this movie, but maybe you won't. But anyway, I like the word. Like, that is also my favorite word. Serendipity. So, the meaning of serendipity, I don't know what it's going to say online, but I'll look that up too. But kind of a good way for that word is a fortunate accident. Serendipity, if that makes any sense. So, serendipity, the occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. So, fortunate accident. So, anyway, John Cusack and, once again, Kate Beckinsale. So, she is in 2 of my top 5. Those are the 2 main people. There's some other mildly famous actors in there. But it all happens over, it's very much based around like fate and whether or not fate is a part of the world, or it's, things are just, you make what, I don't know, or whether fate's not. I don't even know what I'm saying here. But, so John Cusack he's in New York, and I think at this time, he's actually single. There's a lot of cheating going on in this movie too. But I think he's single at the time. I think she's single at the time. I think. And they meet. And no, they're not. They are not single because they meet in a department store. And I think they're trying to buy like the same pair of gloves that there's only one left on. It's around the holiday season. So they meet over these gloves, and then they, for whatever reason, they share a cup of coffee or something like that. Something like that. They have this wonderful time, right? And over this night, and at the end of the night, like he wants her phone number. So she says, "Well, let's just see what the universe wants to have happen." So she writes her number on like a $1 bill or something. No, on the inside of a book cover.
I remember this.
Sells the book.
Yep.
Right?
And if he finds it.
Yeah, and he writes his number on a $1 bill, and she like buys something with it. So if they were to get these items back, then it was meant to be.
Yep.
Right? So years go by, and they're with their significant others, and they're both engaged. Actually, both like about to get married, like on about the same time. But there's something, they're both kind of remembering this night, and they're still kind of wondering. And anyway, they're in New York, like trying to look for each other. Anyway, of course, all sorts of shit happens. But the end of the movie,
she finds the book.
She finds the dollar bill.
Or the dollar bill.
She is on a plane and gets a dollar bill as change from after she's all but given up. She's got given the dollar bill as change on an airplane. And his fiance, the night before their wedding, gives him the book as a wedding gift. And so, of course, then they end up calling the wedding off, and they find each other. And
yep.
very, very
I do
happy.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Now I remember.
So that's my favorite movie. I feel like that's a good happy ending. Nobody dies. They end up together. Sucks for the two that they broke up with.
Maybe they'll get together.
But yeah, maybe they will. It'd be nice. Although her guy was a weird ass. He was a really weird one. He like played like an oboe or something. He was like a rock star, but he played like an oboe. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, should we wrap this sucker up? I feel like we've made it through our top 5. So let's see. My top 5 was Ghost, Pretty Woman, Pearl Harbor, Forever Young, and Serendipity. That's mine.
Mine was A Star is Born, Save the Last Dance, Titanic, Dear John, and The Notebook.
Okay. We had talked about this sooner. I was just thinking about our list of movies. So my movies ranged from the 1990 until 2001. I was just thinking about our age difference between you and I realized like my set of movies, none of them are made within the last 20 years.
Mine are.
Yeah, and yours are all made within the last 20 years. I just find that interesting.
Titanic.
That's true. Titanic. Which, oddly enough, is
the year I was born.
Is one that we agree on. Like, we sort of agree on Titanic. And I guess I do kind of like that Lady Gaga, the Star is Born. I do kind of like that one. And that's a newer one. Anyway.
But the original one's like 1987 or something like that. What? The original Star is Born.
There's an original? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. No, that's okay. I didn't know that.
1976.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's an old one. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, yeah, so that was our Month of Love podcast, I guess. So that was our top 5 romance movies. So
full of cheating, full of finding.
Yeah, I'm concerned about your list of movies. A bunch of cheating women, I guess. But they all found love in the end.
They all found love. They found their true love. Their one that they were with at the beginning.
Right.
All right.
So, anyways, it was good talking to you guys, and we will see you guys next week. Hope you guys all have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you then.
Bye.